Today's video is brought to you by Raze and Drink. Go to redbull.com and get yourself the best energy drink and dietary supplements you ever want. I told you everything you know about Goblet of Fire is a lie. Okay, not everything, but there's one specific chapter 32, which throws off the whole dynamic of the story. And to be honest, I don't know how I missed this, because I've read the books at least 8 times. Okay, obviously, I'm talking about Harry Potter here. Okay, I've read the Harry Potter books at least 8 times. I've listened to them on audiobook at least 4 times. And I can't believe all those times I missed this line. And you missed this line. And everybody missed this line. And it throws off the entire story. Not just book 4. Not just book 5. But book 6 as well. All 3 of those books, stories have to change because of one line in Goblet of Fire. Not the movie edition. Not the movie. We're talking about the books itself, because the movie obviously is going to show something that's a little different. Maybe the movie realized this in the books. It was like, oh crap, let's make that not happen. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here, and you're probably not understanding what the hell I'm talking about. Actually, yeah, you do, because you clicked on the video, and the video says that Harry can't see the Thestrals. And I will get to that. But before I get to that, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. And ring that bell so you know it's the video, because I post a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now let's get into it. Before we get into today's video, quick word from our sponsor, Raze and Drinks over at repsports.com. This is probably my favorite flavor. This is called Voodoo. Great for the fall season. It's got the Halloween wicked theme, and it tastes amazing. Today's video is brought to you by Raze Energy Drink. So good. Ton of different flavors. BCA aminos. You got 0 sugar, 0 dyes, 0 calories. This stuff is just great. Look at that. Zeros all the way down. No crash. No BS. I've had many energy drinks in my day, and I've drinking many different companies, and this is the best. Definitely, keeps me awake all day. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. 5 o'clock right now, actually. And I'll be good for the rest of the day. If you go to repsports.com, that's REPP sports.com, you can go to the website. You can see that they have, not just energy drinks, but they have protein flapjack mix. You can buy different vitamin pills, weight loss products, even apparel, everything. This place is awesome. And in 2021, Raze was the Clash of Clans champions. We beat out Monster, Redbull, and all those other companies. So go to repsports.com, use coupon code Johnny Huey for 15% off. Let's get back to the video. So you're probably sitting there telling me, like, what are you talking about? Harry can't see the Thestrals. You see the Thestrals when you see somebody die. That's exactly it. You can only see the Thestrals if you witness death. Now, my interpretation of that is witnessing death, meaning you physically see the person die. You might be by someone's bedside table in a hospital. You might see someone get murdered. Well, Cedric was murdered in front of Harry. I'll get to that. Don't you worry. Excuse me. So we find out in Order of the Phoenix that you can only see Thestrals if you see someone die. Harry sees him, Luna sees him, and Neville sees him. But no one else in the class can see him. I think there's like one other kid in the background that says he can see him, but he's irrelevant to the story. Either way, Luna can see them because she witnessed her mother die after a magical experiment. So she could have been by a bedside table, she was dying, there was no way to fix her, or Luna got to her mother and she passed away in arms. She witnessed her mother dying. Neville witnessed his grandfather dying. Harry witnessed Cedric dying. But what did I tell you before? There's a certain chapter in the book with a certain line that proves this point in the story wrong. And let me read you that part in the book. Chapter 32. The Goblet of Fire. Far away, above his head, Harry heard a high, cold voice say, "Kill the spare." A swooshing noise, and a second voice which screeched the words to the night, "Avada Kedavra." A blast of green light blazed through Harry's eyelids, and he heard something heavy fall to the ground. Harry opened his stinging eyes. Cedric was lying spread eagle on the ground beside him. He was dead. Harry opened his eyes. Harry physically did not see Cedric die. He saw him alive. He closed his eyes. He saw a flash of green. Cedric was dead. Instantly. Like I said, the movies, you see Harry's reaction to him flying through the air and, his eyes are open. In the book, Harry closes his eyes. He physically closes his eyes, which means he physically does not see the death itself happen. He sees him live, then he sees him dead. Doesn't see the in-between, which I think is the key connection to seeing the Thestrals, on physically seeing the crossing over, the actual moment of live to dead. Closing your eyes, wouldn't physically see that. Now you may be able to argue, okay, if you're on someone's bedside table and you're crying and closing your eyes, it may see. It doesn't physically say. It says that physically witnessing death, you can see a Thestral. So does that mean if you go to somebody's funeral and they're already dead, you see death? Does that mean you can see a Thestral? I don't think so. I think you physically have to see the moment of it happening. Technically, Harry didn't physically see it. He knows what happened in his mind, that something happened, and then opened his eyes, and yes, he saw Cedric dead. But did he physically see the moment of death? I don't think so. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you think that this would account for seeing a Thestral. I don't think so. Anyway, with that being said, which means in book number 5, Harry would not be able to see the Thestrals put in carriages and would have had that whole interaction with Luna. Then, when class came, only Luna and Neville would have been able to see the Thestrals. And Harry would have been like, just as confused as the other ones are. And just as grossed out with the whole meat thing pouring out, yeah. Unfortunately, we'll see that part in the movie. I mean, it's a good thing. Either way, when it's time to go to the Ministry of Magic, it would have been very awkward, and Harry would have had to, be just as awkward as Ron and Hermione, not being able to see what they're riding on. Because remember, they didn't have the brooms. I mean, actually, Harry has a broom. Does Harry have the broom back at that point? I think they all ride Thestrals, correct? Okay. Getting distracted. Let's get back. So, they fight the Death Eaters. Sirius and the rest of the Order of Phoenix come by to save them. And we see Sirius Black die. Probably one of the most tragic deaths in this film and book. But that is the point that Harry physically sees death. So after Sirius dies is when he should be able to see the Thestrals. Now, it's kind of unclear in the book on, position-wise. He may have not actually seen it happen. But I'm not going into crazy detail about that because it's not physically clear on who saw and who didn't see. But, it is physical that Harry did, hear it happen. When he turned around, you see Sirius standing there, and then he fades into the archway. So that, you could say that he physically saw the death. So Harry's not going to be able to see the Thestrals until book 6, when he goes up and sees the carriages and says, oh, that's what a Thestral looks like. That thing is ugly. So yeah, Harry cannot see the Thestrals until book 6 because he physically, first death he technically saw with his own eyes was Sirius Black and not Cedric. Cedric is dead, but we didn't actually physically. No, sorry. We saw it. Harry physically did not witness the death happen because he closed his eyes. I think that constitutes for the fact I'm seeing Thestrals. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and if you think that constitutes, the binding magical contract of seeing Thestrals. And make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss the video because I post a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And make sure you check out my merch shelf down below. I got some new designs coming. And thank you. See you guys next time. So yes, today I did a Harry Potter video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to branch out into some new fandoms in the future. I got some other videos coming. And make sure you check out that video up there. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button and click Lilo's face on my Patreon page. Yes, I have a Patreon page where I have tons of content there and more coming of behind the scenes videos just for you that only you can watch if you support me on Patreon. And you can also get special merch. I'm going to eventually come out with select merchandise just for Patreon supporters. And I'm going to give you guys some gifts and send you guys some cool stuff. So head over to Patreon. Thank you so much. See you guys next time.